'twas the time of the preacher.
And I used to be such a nice guy.
Well, for a man that don't go healed, you run your mouth kind of reckless, don't you?
It's a little too early for being that loud. Hey, too late.
What an incredible Cinderella story. This unknown comes out of nowhere.
I guess I'm the only one that remains unaffiliated.
Welcome to the 4-1 podcast. For 4 minutes, I talk about one topic. Today I want to talk to you again about fire. I mentioned fire in one of my previous podcasts, and I just want to do a little follow-up to it. You see, several years ago I wrote this book called I'm Going to Light Myself on Fire. And the reason for the title of the book is that it's connecting to this all-knowing, all-powerful God can be frustrating at times. I mean, it can be really, really tough. I mean, it's like, you know, he knows everything. He sees everything, and he never leaves you alone. He never gives you any space, and that's good, but it's also frustrating. And so much of, following after God is kind of portrayed as being this, like this kind of sweet stroll by a stream on a nice, cool summer's day. And I've just found that while that happens sometimes, most of the times it feels like I'm stumbling after him. Like just trying to keep up and get in step with him and stay in step with him. And it's frustrating and it's tough. And in the book, I tell a story about how God has had to really work on my heart. And I know he still is. I've got so many blind spots. And if I knew what my blind spots were, I'd tell you, but they're blind spots, so I really don't know. But some of them that I've encountered is that, I'll write entire groups of people off, like people who smoke cigarettes. There was just a point in my life where I just kind of wrote these people off. And I hate to even admit that, but it's true. And God really did work on my heart and transformed and changed me to where I started carrying a lighter with me everywhere I went. To remind me that, if God is with me, then, I have exactly what everyone needs. They need a connection with God. And it's not, something that I give on my own power or ability, but, as I pray for one, God, please give me one person to share your love with. That's the key. It's his love, not mine. I share his. And so I wrote about that in the book, I'm Going to Light Myself on Fire, about how I carry this lighter. And years ago, I was playing the host for an outdoor concert. And it was an all-day deal by a lake in Texas. And me and a buddy, we were the hosts. So we were the MC for the whole thing. And so there were a number of different bands playing throughout the day. And our job was to kind of entertain the crowd in between the sets. And there were all kinds of different bands from all different walks of life. And it was a fairly raucous crowd. There was some consumption going on, one might say, in the audience. And so our jokes got funnier as the day went on. That was the good part. And though we were doing this and emceeing and hosting and telling jokes, and we introduced this band that was about to come on. Now, I'd never heard them before, but we really played them up and said, you're going to love this band. Stick around. You're not going to miss them, And people stayed, and the band was great. They did an awesome job. And we were backstage when the band was coming off, and the lead singer for the band, he comes up to me, and he takes out a cigarette, and he puts it to his lips, and he stands right in my face. And I'm like, what are you doing? And he takes it out and goes, I just want to see if you're legit or not. I was like, what do you mean, legit? And he puts it back in and looks at me like, and I went, oh! And I reach in my pocket and I grab my lighter, I'm like, and I'm light. It's like the first cigarette I'd ever lit for anybody. And I lit his cigarette for him. And he takes a long drag. He goes, I read your book. I was like, you did? He goes, yeah, somebody gave it to me. I checked it out. And I read that you said you carried a lighter just in case anybody needed a light. And I just wanted to see if you were for real. You see, most Christians that I meet aren't for real. That was heartbreaking, but here was a win. At least one on my resume. And I'll take it. One day where it felt like maybe I wasn't just stumbling, but maybe I was really walking with Jesus. Hey, keep praying for one and be ready to give people what they need.